Hey, friends. Welcome to the Sales Strategies for Christian Coaches podcast. I'm Justin Janowski, your host, the founder of Faith to Influence. And this podcast is all about helping you grow your sales with high integrity strategies, elevate your mindset around sales and money, and help you design and price your offers appropriately so you can have tremendous success and grow your income in the marketplace while also growing your impact and giving generously to the people around you. I'm coming to you today with a little bit of a cold, so my voice might sound different than normal. Pray for me if you're willing. I would love to feel better this week, but I've got a bit of a sore throat. I do have hot news, which is I was able to today go to the hotel where we're holding our conference in 2 weeks and spend some time with them there, putting the final touches on the design of the rooms for us and the design of the menu. And if you know me, I love good food, so putting the menu together for everybody is something that's fun. I'm looking forward to spending time with so many of you in a couple of weeks in Milwaukee at Christian Coaches Academy Live, where we're going to have the opportunity to really help you elevate your business. If you're not signed up yet for the conference, you can still join us. There's still time. Go to www.christiancoachesacademylive.com. christiancoachesacademylive.com, and you can find all the details about the conference, and of course join us if you're still able. We'd love to see you there. Today I want to talk to you about elevating your mindset around sales, specifically in the idea of considering sales as an invitation. And so I think sometimes people imagine that sales is going to be this pushy, high-pressure thing. And there's a lot of pressure on you as the sales rep to make a sale or make somebody do something, or that there's a lot of pressure that's going to be placed on the other person as you attempt to make them do something. But I just don't think that that's the way it has to be. I think if we're doing things the right way, sales just becomes an invitation. In fact, you might begin to reframe sales as coaching with an invitation at the end of it. When we're talking about sales in the context of the coaching industry specifically, if you're operating well and you're using our 10-step sales process, most of you know what that is. If you don't, go to goodsalespdf.com and we'll give it to you for free. goodsalespdf.com. You can have our 10-step process. But our 10-step sales process teaches you how to run through a sales conversation in the same way you might run through a coaching conversation, where you're asking great questions. You're helping people identify where they're at and where they want to go. You're helping people identify the biggest problems or challenges that stand in the way of them solving their problem and fulfilling their vision. And you're helping them commit to taking the necessary action to get more of what they want or become more of who they were created to become. That's coaching. At the end of that sales conversation, though, if somebody's committed to solving the problem, they're committed to fulfilling their vision, and you've got a service through your coaching business that could help them, your next responsibility is to invite them to that service and to ask their consent to do so, to say, hey, if you're really confident, if you're really committed to solving this problem, I'm really confident I can help. I'd love to share with you how I work with my clients. Are you ready for that? And when they say yes and they invite you, now you're going to make your offer and you're going to invite them to buy. You're going to say, is that something that you'd like to be a part of? The way I work with my clients is we do this, 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 and this, and it costs this much. Is this something that you'd like to do? That's your invitation to them. And of course, there might be some questions, there might be some concerns or objections, there might be some things for you to get curious about and talk through together to help them make their best decision. But I want to remind you, your responsibility in this is to invite. Now, yes, I believe we should be strategic and thoughtful and influential in making it as easy as possible for the right people to say yes. However, that's it. We're just trying to make it easy for the right people to say yes. We're not trying to make people say yes. Their responsibility is to make the best decision for themselves. And so I want you to even consider this as similar to discipleship. You know, when you think about discipleship, we're asked and called to share the good news and to invite people to Jesus and share about the gift he's given us with the cross. But we all know that we don't convert anyone as disciples. We're not going to be responsible for anybody coming to the kingdom. God and Jesus are going to do that. They're going to do the heavy lifting. Our job is to share and to invite, to share with enthusiasm and to invite, to behave and act a certain way and to invite. And then expect that Jesus is going to do the rest and that the responsibility lies between Jesus and the person. And so sales is a lot like that. We need to show up in a certain way in that conversation that shows people who we are. And that's going to attract some people to us. When we show up with integrity, when we show up with leadership, when we show up with great coaching, when we show up with care and generosity for the other person, that's going to be magnetic in many cases. And then we got to tell the good news. We got to share the opportunity we have to serve and to give, and the value behind our business and why we created it and who we created it for and what good it does for people, and to invite them to be a part of it. And once again, it's not up to us to make the decision. Our responsibility ends at the invitation to a certain degree. Yes, we might want to have some conversation about questions, objections, concerns they have, and be a part in helping them make the best decision for themselves. But ultimately, the decision is between them and God on what they're going to do next, right? We're not going to make that decision for anyone. And so I just wanted to share this message with you to remind you that your job is to invite, and to invite as often as possible. And in fact, one of the greatest indicators of the success that you will or won't have, especially as a new coach in the early years, is how many invitations you make. If you're not making as many sales as you want, earning as much income as you want, or having the kind of impact you want to have, consider how many invitations you've made to your program recently. And consider beginning to behave differently so that you can invite more often. Because the more times we invite, the more times people are going to say yes. That's ultimately what the game is about in sales and entrepreneurship, is inviting as many people as we can. And then not taking it so personally if somebody doesn't say yes to the invitation. Recognizing that that's their responsibility, their decision. That's okay. We can love them and respect them whether they say yes or no. As long as you do that, they'll do the same for you. Love and respect you whether they say yes or no. And then we're on to the next invitation. And on to the next invitation. And on to the next invitation. Because we've got something important. We've got something special. We've got something good to share. And it's not nearly as good as the good news of discipleship. I know I'm making that comparison. But hopefully that helps you recognize, yeah, your job is to invite. And if you invite somebody to Jesus, if you share the gospel, you share the good news, and they don't convert immediately, they don't accept Jesus as their Savior immediately, you probably don't take that personally. Maybe you do. Maybe we need to work on that too. But in many cases, I'm guessing you're just assuming, okay, well, this is just one step in their journey. And maybe they'll make their decision later. And this was just the beginning of a long journey. And Jesus is going to do the rest of the work. And they're going to come along in their own time, on their own journey, in their own process, in their own way. And some people never will, and that's okay. But you did your part to invite. And I just want to consider that we could treat sales in the same way. That our job is to invite. Let's keep inviting. Let's keep making it easy for the right people to say yes. And let's love and respect people whether they say yes or no. God bless you all. I hope this is helpful. This is an important message for me. I hope it's a good one for you. I hope to talk to you all soon. Hope to see many of you at our conference in 2 weeks. Let me know if you want to join and you still have questions, resistance, financial concerns. I'll do what I can to help you be there if you want to be a part of it. Cheers and God bless you. Talk to you soon.